Hello, everybody. It's Heather Nichols coming to you from Berlin, Germany. Today was the first day of a very life-changing class here called the Symphony of Possibilities. And I just came also from Paris, from a really amazing class in Paris called Body Whispering, both access consciousness classes. And one of the things about being in one of these types of classes is that everything melts, everything changes. It seems the classes are so energetic that it seems sometimes as if everything kind of goes away. And so I thought I would make a video about what to do when you don't know what to do. How do you create when it seems like everything has changed? And there will be those times where, you're sort of plodding along or cruising along. Hopefully you're cruising and not plodding, but sometimes we plod. But you're cruising along and you're, creating your business and you've got things going on and you're like, yeah, cool, let's do this, let's do that. And then all of a sudden things change energetically so much that it sort of seems like, wow, did it all go away? And a lot of times we kind of get stopped in our tracks because we're not sure what's next. And so a few pieces about that. So sometimes that can be a few different things. So sometimes things change so much and we weren't maybe including the future as much as we could have in what we were creating. So when things change so much, the things that we were creating may not actually be relevant anymore. And it's a great question to ask, like, okay, so is what I was creating still relevant? Is it something that still wants to be created or that I still would like to create? Is it still gonna, work? You can ask that. Is it still gonna work? That's a great pragmatic question to ask. And you'll get a sense of yes or no from that question of, okay, yeah, let's keep creating it. Let's keep moving with these projects or whatever it is that you've got going. And sometimes it's, wow, no, okay. And a lot of times we want to avoid the truth of that, because then we're sort of like, we feel like we've put energy into nothing and, it's sort of wasted energy or whatever you want to call it. And what if that's not the case? What if all creation leads to greater and more? Sometimes it doesn't lead exactly where you think it's going to lead, but all creation leads to more if you don't have a point of view about it. And if you don't judge it as a waste of your time or, something that didn't come to fruition, because we get so much awareness from what we create. And it could be that the next thing you choose to create is, a total hit with your clients or, something that just skyrockets you into the next stratosphere with business. But you got to be willing to let go of stuff that isn't relevant anymore, if that's the case. So that's one possibility when things kind of seem blank. They seem like they've gone away. Another very different possibility is that sometimes our creations actually take on a life of their own. They get so much energy that we've nurtured them so much that they start to fly and they don't require us as much. And one of the analogies I use often with my clients is, if you were, trying to, change the diapers on a, 6-year-old child, that would not be appropriate, right? You change diapers on a baby, usually, 2 and under kind of a thing. And so by age 6, most children are potty trained, and would not be an appropriate way to parent a 6-year-old as in the same way that you would a newborn. And so it's the same with your creations. You put energy into them, you put energy into them, you put energy into them. And it may be that so much has changed for you that there's been a huge, wonderful energetic shift, and that creation is ready to fly, and it doesn't require as much of your attention. If that's the case, don't hover, don't, and a lot of times what happens is we get kind of get like worried about, when things feel like they went away, we're like, you get freaked out, and then you keep doing something that isn't productive from the space of fear that, you're going to not have income or whatever it may be. But again, all creation leads to more if you don't have any points of view about where it's going, and if you're open to seeing where else it can go. So when that's the case, being the question, okay, so has this taken on a life of its own? If you get a yes for that, then great. Then the next question to ask would be, well, then what does this creation require of me? And you can talk to the creation, literally, the energy of it. Hey, what do you require of me? And you'll know as you ask these questions, things will pop up. You can call it intuition, awareness, lateness, whatever it is. You'll know what's required. Like if I asked you right now, what are the 2 things you need to do for your business right now, today? You would probably tell me what they are. And I would say you could create your whole business like that. It's like, okay, do those 2 things and then ask again, whether it's later today or tomorrow, what are the 2 things that are required right now? And it's when we overthink and we worry, oh, did something go away? Did something die? Is something, we try to keep things alive that want to change, all those things where we're not responsive to the changing nature of things, that we get in the way of the ease, the joy, the glory, the elegance of creation. And creation is so much more energetic than we think it is. And when we acknowledge that, we get to have a lot more space with it, and we get to bring a level of relaxation to it that is very, very dynamic. So just a couple tools when things seem like they've gone away. And the last thing could be, there's just a lot of space in your world, and it's time to just enjoy the space and give yourself a day, give yourself 2 days, give yourself 3 days to just kind of chill out, relax, take a bird's eye view of things, take stock of where you're at with your business and all of your creations, and see what pops. Go out, be in nature, move your body, do something that isn't business, and see what starts to pop up in your world and what starts to talk to you, and that you can, generate and create from there. Because when you have a lot of change, there's way more available of you. There's way more of you available to get to move and create. And it's when we lean into that, however uncomfortable it may be, that things really flourish. So enjoy. And if you liked the video, do the thing, like, subscribe, share, all that, so we can, get it in front of more people, because hopefully this will contribute to more people. Conversations about business and creation that you don't really find in a lot of places. So I'm grateful to be having them. Thanks for being here. Thanks for you. Happy creating.